Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the linear regression plus indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way, it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going, so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. All right, like I said, today we will be testing the linear regression plus plus indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 191 indicators. And out of those 191 indicators, 76 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of those 76 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right, so as I said, today's indicator is the linear regression plus indicator. This one, so there's a normal linear regression indicator that is kind of a default indicator for TradingView. But I found this one, which was a member created version of the indicator. And it's very similar to the standard default one. But I thought it would be easier to test this one. One, because it has a few changes that I liked, and for two, I like the fact that I could actually link to this one. So it makes it easier for people to be able to actually pull it up in TradingView in case they can't find it. So, like I said, it here is on screen. You can see it here. The linear regression basically is a channel type indicator and a support and resistance style indicator. It has a channel that it rides along. I'm not sure exactly what points it is calculating off the top of my head, but basically it has this channel. And if I pull up the standard one, you can kind of see how it's kind of laid out there. So you have this top channel, bottom channel, you have the middle, which splits the two kind of in a bearish, bullish type split. So underneath is bearish, above is bullish. This can be useful if you are using the center line as a baseline, more or less. Then you have an idea of, like I said, the bearish versus the bullish kind of direction of price action. This one right here, as you can see, the channels meet up almost identically. Has the bottom band and the upper band as well as the center band. Now, from my understanding, the main concept behind the linear regression, and of course there's probably people out there who trade it a little bit differently, have their own opinions on how to use it, and that's absolutely fine. We actually welcome that, because often you'll find that thinking outside the box, you will discover things that will sometimes really surprise you. And so I absolutely welcome opinions and ideas on how to trade this in other manners. But from my understanding is you have a top line and a bottom line, and they act as support and resistance areas. And so similar to like the Bollinger Band, when price action comes up and touches or breaks through the upper band, you can expect a reversal to take place sometime in the near future. Is kind of the idea behind it. It's basically reading that price action is way overextended to the upside and should reverse. I guess that's a better way to put it. Should reverse sometime in the very near future. And then, of course, on the bottom side, when price action comes down and runs into it, it is, kind of implying that price action is way overextended to the downside, and you should or could expect a retracement sometime in the near future. So again, they act as support and resistance areas. Now, the one thing that I did like about this version was that it kind of takes the guesswork out of where you should be, buying and selling. You can see here that it puts the tags there for you, telling you when you should be selling and when you should be buying. Pretty simple setup. Tells us when we should go short, tells us when we should go long. It also has this kind of oscillating line running through it here, and I'm not really sure if this plays a role in the signals that it gives. Again, it is the linear regression plus indicator, and so I guess it would do me good to go to the creator's page about this indicator and read into it a little bit. I'm not sure why I didn't do that beforehand. I think mainly because I've played with the linear regression, the default one, quite a bit, and so I, for some reason, was just thinking that it's pretty much the same in that aspect. So let me take a moment here. I will clip out this part, but I'm going to run and read through the indicator page real quick and see if it mentions anything about the line that is running through the green and red line, not this blue line here. So you can see that if I go here, actually it doesn't. Interesting. Doesn't appear that there is any settings for this really thin red and green line. So let's see. All right. So I took a moment. I went and pulled up the creator's page on this particular indicator, and there was no mention of this line that is running through. There's no mention on whether or not it has a bearing on these signals specifically. It seems like something does, because I've played around with this indicator a little bit, and it doesn't seem like it gives a signal every time it breaks through the upper or lower band. And so thought that rather interesting that it doesn't do that. So it kind of made me believe that maybe this band here has some kind of bearing on the signal that it gives. And beyond that, it is worth noting that the creator does say that this shouldn't be used by itself, that it is similar to the Bollinger Bands. Funny enough that I referenced that before I looked at the page, but they did mention that it is similar to the Bollinger Bands in that when a serious trend is taking place, that this indicator can fall prey to false signals. So keep that in mind. But nonetheless, we are going to test it. We are going to try it out, see what we can get out of it. Again, when we get sell signals, we will go short. When we get buy signals, we will go long. And that is pretty much how we are looking to trade this. So let's just keep an eye on it here. Again, the way I always traded it was when price action breaks, very similar to like it did here, broke to the downside. That is a sign that price should be rebounding to the upside sometime in the near future. Now, that does pose a little bit of an issue because that does mean that this is a reversal indicator by its very nature. It's not necessarily a trend indicator. But what it can do is it can give you an idea of when price is overextended in one direction or another, and could have a reversal in the trend and a new trend starting sometime in the near future. But for the moment, let's trade it the way it says to trade it. When it gives us a buy, that is a long. Let's play it out and see what happens. Alright, so get a buy right there. Looks like we stay within our stop, and it looks like we definitely got ourselves first take profit. So let's go ahead and continue forth with it here and see. Again, you could use this middle line for a few different things. You could use it as a support and resistance line as well. And so I think the idea behind this is most of the time this is going to give you about a 50% retracement. And so that goes back into Fibonacci levels. You'll find that often when price has a reversal, that it's typically a 50% retracement, or at the 50% retracement, it tends to stall out and sometimes reverse itself again or have a significant pullback. And so this is a good example of that right here. If you look at this leg of the movement right here, from here to here is what we're looking at. This is a retracement of this move, this downward move. And if we were to take a Fibonacci retracement and pull it from there to there, you can see that it hit the 50% and really started to reject the upper side. And so you'll see this a lot, is that a 50% retracement tends to stall out the price action. It will sometimes have a significant pullback there before it continues back in that direction, but it also quite often just does a complete reversal and rejection of the move that it was trying to take place. So keep that in mind when you are analyzing trades, and if you are in any particular trade, keep an eye out on 50% retracement. Seems to be a very common area. But you could also use it, as I said before, as a baseline to where when price action breaks through it, that could be a signal or a sign of a new trend taking place. Didn't work very well right here, but you see here where it came down and then came back up through it. That was a sign, pretty good indication that price was moving in a strong trend. Now we pick up a sell over here on this side. It is on this one right here. Let's go ahead and play it forward some, see what happens. And so we are still within the stop of this first signal that it gives us. And we definitely get ourselves to take profit. Keep on playing it out here, and you can see how if you watch closely, you can see how the channel expands and contracts, very similar to the Bollinger Bands as well. So you'll have moments where it narrows in very closely, like right there. Narrowed in very, very close. And then as price action starts to head and momentum comes into the market, it starts to expand itself back out, widening itself. Get a buy signal over here on this side. Let's keep an eye on it and see what happens. Once again, we get take profit. So not too bad at all. Seems to be doing rather well. Just keep an eye on it here. It's moving along. It has contracted itself in really tight. And so you can see that it doesn't always give you, a signal as price, pierces. I think maybe the price action has to actually close with the body touching it, possibly. But it's worth noting that if you were watching, this big bar right here take place, when it came down and pierced below this, you could have very well gotten long down here as it came down and hit this and started to reject that area, riding it back up and then up and out. So just, another way of possibly trading this indicator. And so you can see price action keeps, there's definitely something more to the signals that it gives, because many of these bars were closing the body, touching the upper line, and it was not giving us a signal to go short. It did right here, and unfortunately that was the first losing trade. And so now you can see that price action is pushed really far up here to the top, and it has double topped right here, giving us a really good sign, price action sign, that a reversal is going to take place. And so this is an instance where the indicator itself isn't really giving you a sign to go short. It's not labeling a sell signal here, but price action is looking really good for at least a small push to the downside here. Now, I could be wrong. This thing could just blast straight up out of there. But if I were looking at this, I would say that's a pretty good sign. Using just one indicator and price action alone, that's a really good sign that we'll have a push to the downside. Let's see what happens. Yep, see, we got a small push to the downside. Wasn't very much. Probably would have gotten us to at least take profit. Yeah, We got to take profit out of it, but it wasn't a great trade. It was something. Would have, a little bit of banked in the account nonetheless. But then it did spike up and out of there as I was concerned about. So now we see that it is now giving us a sell signal again right there. We are close to the end of the year. Let's see what happens. And it finally gets a decent push to the downside, giving us one more winning trade. All right, so there we have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trades all together. And we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 winning trades. So that's definitely going to meet the 60% criteria. I will say that I wish it was more signals. That's kind of the first thing, is that that's not that many signals in 1 year's time. But again, if you're just starting out, if you or if you're struggling to really kind of be profitable as a trader, then this is could be a very good indicator for you to kind of start with. It's easy to start trading and overtrade because you're so excited and so just thrilled to get out there and put all that knowledge that you've learned to good use and make yourselves lots of money. But keep in mind that um, slow is accurate, accurate is fast. If you want to become a good trader, you need to start off slow. You need to get used to trading. You need to get used to patience. And so in this instance now, fair warning, there's only 5 trades. Typically, you want at least 100 trades to determine whether or not a indicator is going to be profitable in the long term. And so back testing 100 signals and then crunching the numbers to see what it was able to achieve, that is a more realistic way of discovering what indicators are really going to hold up over time. And so I don't want you to think that you can just test an indicator, 3 or 4 signals, all good, and jump out there and you're going to have a 95% win rate. It could happen, but it's unlikely that it will happen. And so of course, whenever I set out to start testing indicators on this channel, I really I hadn't ran across a lot of indicators that really gave so few signals. Oddly enough, the vast majority of the indicators that I played with gave quite a few signals in a year. And so I never really thought that I'd run into a scenario to where I only got 2 or 3 or even 1 signal off of an indicator in 1 year. Obviously, looking back on it now, maybe we could have changed the parameters a little bit in the initial testing stage, but we stay true to our word. 1 year's test, we see what the indicator can do, and it goes on a list. And then from there, we can narrow it down and put them through more scrutinized testing from there. So back to the original topic at hand was the fact that if you're struggling or if you're just new to getting into Forex trading, indicators like this could be very well what you need. Slow and steady, get used to the signals, get used to if you would have traded this in the year of 2016, you would have been a profitable trader. And so that's what you need. Build up that confidence, get used to how the market flows and how the market works. And then you can start testing other things, more signals, more, different time frames and so on. So, like I said, I wish it gave us more signals, but it doesn't. Still, it's a winning indicator. We'll put it on the yes list and we will move on to the next indicator from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, alright everybody, I will see you on the next video.